Okay, hey you fans of popular culture of the 20th century. This is a redux of part one of the iconic two film locations from T2 Judgment Day. Give me your clothes, give me your boots, and give me your motorcycle. Okay, a couple of factoids I'm gonna line up here. When Sarah asked T800 who built Skynet, he said Skynet went online August 4th, 1997, and then it started learning at a geometrical rate until it became self-aware August 29th, 1997 at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the machines began to see humans as the enemy and a threat, as you remember, and then they took over all the computer software programs and every weapon, every airplane in the sky, every factory, everything just stopped. Then they shot the nuclear missiles, Russia did, to America, or the machines in Russia, and then World War III, and then the end of the world. Okay, like I said in the previous video, James Cameron, I think he was only 37, still a relatively young man. They paid him $6 million, Mario Casar from Carol Cole, to write it, the script. It took him 7 weeks with a little help from a guy named William Wisher, a friend of his, who also did a little cameo in the Terminator in 1984. It took him 7 weeks. It was 150 pages, and they started in May of 1990, and then right before they started filming, well, they finished it in July, and then the script was ready for shooting, and they started filming October 8th, 1990, and it took 5 months until March 28th, and then like I said, I mentioned earlier that Arnold got $15 million, and he got a Gulfstream 3 business jet. Linda, she got $1 million, and then they paid a 13-year-old Edward Furlong $75,000, the same amount that Arnold got paid in Terminator 1. And the reason why it took so long from 1984 to 1990 to get started to do the sequel is because before the first film was made, James Cameron, he had no money. Obviously, he had done IPSA, and he had experimented with a little bit of the CGI, but the computers weren't powerful enough until 1990. From 1989 to 1990, well, he would have started IPSA in 88, so it took about 3 years to perfect the CGI, and he just wanted to get a shot in right here, but he had no money, so he got a friend of his that he met working for Roger Corman when they were younger. They were both this lady named Gail Ann Hurd. She was a producer with Roger Corman, and he asked her if she would produce it, because she had connections in the film industry. Gail did, so he sold her the rights, 50% for $1, and then to get the financing, it's kind of Byzantine. So I don't know if James Cameron sold her the whole 100%, but Hemdale Film Corporation, they were an English company. They ended up getting 50%. So I'm guessing that Gale Ann Hurd sold Hemdale the other 50%. And the reason why I didn't get started until the Terminator 2 until 1990 from 1984, because in the Terminator, this guy that worked at Hemdale, the head guy, John Daly, him and James Cameron got in a physical altercation because John Daly wanted to stop and change the ending, and James Cameron was adamant, no, you can't do that. So then he wasn't paying the profits from the Terminator to Arnold, and Stan Winston wasn't getting any royalties, and so then it ended up taking Arnold in, I think, 1989 to do Total Recall with Mario Kassar at Carolco. He convinced him to buy the rights from Hemdale, which luckily Hemdale was having financial problems, so they ended up selling $10 million of their 50% to Carolco, and then Carolco bought the other 50% from Gale Ann Hurd for $5 million. So that's how they were able to get financing for the second film. And so here you go again, Redux. And forgive me if my hand, I don't stay steady enough, because I start meandering in my mind and then I start moving. So again, here you go. I just want to do a little as smooth as I can. And synchronistically, we have a semi right here. And so that's the fees that Edward Furlong was paid, $75,000. And then there you go. So just steady my arm. Okay. And the CGI was continued up until 2 days before the release, July 3rd, in that halcyon summer of 1991. They were still working on it 2 days before release. Let me see if I can get a more of a solid zoom in of the Harley jump off location right there. Okay, there you go. That's better than what I got in the first one. The only thing is, when you zoom in, it's hard to stay steady. Okay, there you go. Take a nice long gander. And there was nothing online. There never has been anything online posted of these two locations. So I did it for you, you millennials and you Gen Xers, because this was your impactful film of your era. And that sci-fi horror or sci-fi action genre, the first the character ever created was CGI. And let me see a couple of factoids that I didn't mention. Okay, I mentioned the fees, and then I mentioned that James Cameron sold either, like I said, 100% to Gale Ann Hurd, and then she sold 50% to Hemdale, and she had a company called Pacific Western Productions. And so that's what you have to do when you want to make impact on history. You have to sell a little bit part. A little bit part. In James Cameron's case, he sold the whole enchilada for $1. And at least he got the chance to direct it and write it. So at least his fame will live forever. So it was, that $1 was worth it. And okay, so let's say goodbye to where T800, who was created by Cyberdyne Systems, a Model 101, and T1000, an advanced prototype of a mimetic polyalloy liquid metal shape-shifting structure. So thank you, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be seeing you. Okay, thank you.